I am ready to export. I've done a little bit more cleanup. It's not perfect. This is a little bit messy over here, but that's all right. For our purposes, we're just going to go ahead and make sure all the layers are on, do one last quick check, and then get ready to export. And we are going to export at real scale here. So I'm going to go to File, Export As, and it goes to the folder. I've saved this to the project folder on my desktop. And I'm going to export it as DWG. And this is my topo export. I'm just going to call it topo export new. We're going to scale up when we're doing the export. And right now we're in a 1 inch equals 100 feet scale. We're going to bring this in at full size. So we're going to scale it in this little export window. And because we're going from 1 inch equals 100 feet, we have to convert from feet to inches, or pardon me, from inches to feet. So we're going to do 1 times 12, and then that gives us 1 inch. 12 inches equals 1 foot, but we're going up to 100 feet, right? Because our scale is 1 inch equals 100 feet. So I have to times that 12 by 100. So the quick math on that is 1200. Make sure we get it right there. So I've just changed this to say 1 inch equals 1200 units. I do not want to scale the line weights. I don't need any of these other things. And I'm going to hit OK. And that will give me the file that I need. So I'm done with Illustrator for now. So I'm just going to close that out. I'll save this, why not? And I have already opened a new SketchUp file for expediency. And I'm going to come over here to File, and I'm going to import. And this is the Topo Export New. That's the one that I just named. It's going to come up with these import results. I'm going to hit close. First thing I'm going to do before I do anything else is I'm going to measure this to make sure that this is the size that I wanted it to be. And if you remember, our park parcel is about 269 feet across, and that looks right to me, or 270-ish feet. So we're right there. Great. Oops. All right. So, and when I'm orbiting around like this or scrolling in and out, this is just, I have a roll bar on my mouse. You press it in to orbit, and you roll it back and forth to zoom in and out. And then if I want to pan with a hand, I hit shift and my roll bar, and that'll give me my hand. Just a little refresher for you. So, and then spacebar always gives you your selection tool. So right now, this is all kind of smashed together. This is the reason that we do this. All of the line work needs to be in layers. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just explode this, and that will give me the ability to turn these groups on and off. You can see them, they're kind of lighting up as I'm clicking on them. And so that's perfect. So I'm going to turn off my building layer. You can see they just popped right off. I'm going to turn off my parcel layer. I'm going to turn off my park parcel, and I'm going to turn off my right of way. And now I'm ready to work on my contours. So this is exciting. Before I do that, actually, I kind of want to make myself a border. And I know that I want let's measure this. I kind of want to make this like 1,600 feet by 8. Let's make it like 15 by 800. So I'm just gonna kind of attach it here. And I'm gonna, down here in your dimensions, I'm gonna put 50, actually, I'm gonna do 1,600 feet by 800 feet. That might not actually be big enough. Oh, and I'm getting some weirdness. So I see that when I did that, you see the park parcel popped up. So I need to make sure that everything is in groups before I start to make these into planes. So here, I'm going to go to entity info. If you don't have all of this, all of these windows, I have mine preset so that when I open my SketchUp, I've got entity info, I've got styles, I've got tags and shadows. Those are just the ones that I use more than anything. So I want this in a group, and I actually want the group on the layer or pardon me, on the tag. So now this is on the new contours. And actually, I'm going to change this. I just need this to say contour 2 foot. So there's that. I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to turn on the building layer. Oh, and actually, let's use this border here. So this is all on a group. Okay, I'm going to explode this actually. Explode. And I'm going to explode this one. Oops. Oh. All right, so I'm gonna put all of this on untagged, but this is still on the buildings group, or the group is still on the building tag. This is the parcel. Again, I'm making this all onto the untagged. And I'm gonna do park parcel. Okay, so the park parcel is actually not in a group yet, so that's why it popped up when I made that original rectangle, because this is line work and it's not in a group. You can see like some of it's blue, like I can select it. That means that it's not in a group yet. And it's gonna give me a huge problem if I don't put this into a group first. So I'm gonna put it into a group. I'm gonna move the group onto the park parcel. And then I'm going to turn this line work, put it on the untagged. I'll make that untagged. And I'll do the right of way real quick too. And actually, you might have already included your right of way in your working model. So if you already have it, you might not need this, but if you have it in a group, it won't matter. All right. Now we are ready to do some contouring. And as I said, I'm going to use this building outline, or the rectangle that's on the building outline. So I've left this on, but I've opened up the contour group. And I'm just going to draw from this corner. Oops, I didn't quite get it there. And then draw into this corner. All right, so now I don't need the buildings anymore because I've got my own layer. And you see now we've got, this contour line. You can start to see like, oh, it's all the way through. I'm going to paint the water blue right away just because I like to. Force of habit. I'm just going to use this. Super. Yeah, that's better. And I like my water to actually be, they've got some, actually, that's not that bad. I'm going to just use a solid color. So when I go in here, I'm in colors and model. Search the unused ones. And then I'm going to make this a little bit like, okay, perfect. So now I'm ready to start connecting the rest of these. The easiest way to do this is actually to use your line tool. So just hit L on my keyboard. And then I'm gonna draw a line kind of perpendicularly, or I'm gonna draw it perpendicular from the water through all the way up. And yep, you'll see that that starts to get you all of this. And it looks like there might be an issue, and this is typical. Sometimes there's an issue, and I see that this might be it. This might be our problem. I'm gonna use the line tool and just connect through. Yep, that was our issue. Oop. Sometimes the geography gets just a little bit messy, and I'm using the E. I'm just hitting E on my keyboard. And oops, E. Sometimes if my computer's tired, it will give me a little bit of a hard time. And you can see this right here. Oops. There it is. I didn't mean to erase that. So I want to connect this right here. Is I think because these lines were layered together, that's why you're getting this interesting grouping. I might actually delete these and just start with a new line here. That's better. I want this to be, I don't want duplicate lines. So what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna turn on the right of way again, because that's what I'm trying to connect to. So up, draw this one right here. I'm gonna go to the corner and I'm gonna go back here. So almost, we're almost there. I'm gonna try that one more time. And it should, there you go. You saw the line change should signal that you've picked up the what you need there. And so I'm just tracing. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. So this actually, this one right here, we're going to go to the edge and then we're going to go up. And now we've got contour lines that run around this. That's pretty good, actually. Might actually make this water run underneath this a little bit more fluidly. So it's here and come down here. And then I can get rid of this line here. Because this is the dock, so the water, it makes sense for the water to run underneath this dock, this the right of way that we're looking at. And I'm going to triple click this one because I've disconnected it from the other portions. And I'm just going to delete that. And then I'm going to use the A tool and kind of smooth this out. Oops. Well, we don't want that, but I'm going to use the bucket tool and I'm just going to make this the right color. So that's on ground. And okay. That's one. Okay. And this is probably actually too sharp. So I'm gonna use my line tool and come over here. Then I can get rid of this weirdness. Okay, that makes sense. So now I have this. I've got this guy and this guy are one contour set. And this guy are one, oops, this right here This is a contour set and this is a contour set. Okay. And then this, you see this shape hasn't been closed yet. So I'm gonna use the L tool and I'm just gonna close that shape. And I don't need these lines. I'm gonna use the eraser and just clean these up. And this is, you don't have to do this. It's just sort of best practices to get these little ends, these little frayed ends cleaned up. The other thing is, so now I've drawn this line through. I don't need this line anymore that I used to close these, to convert the line work to a plane. So I don't need that where the plane is closed. But you see up here, there's some, this one doesn't quite connect, so I'm gonna have to draw this to the edge. To this edge, so now I've closed that one. And I'm gonna turn off the right of way again, because I don't think I need that anymore. This one right here, this didn't connect. So I'm gonna hit L. There, it closed it. And then for this one, I'm just gonna connect these two. Because I can see that they're not connected. So this side. And then I can delete this. That's that leftover little portion that I drew through the site. And then these guys are close. So I think what I'm gonna do for this, oh, I'm actually really close. I'm just gonna connect the rest of this. And this should start to close the shapes just sort of like naturally for me. If it doesn't, I might have to draw another line through here. I mean, it's starting to look good. I like to draw this through the, okay, so we've got some issues over here maybe. I like when you're doing this, it helps to draw through the sections. And what I'm doing is I'm actually narrowing down where the issue is. And then as I'm doing this, so the issue is not there or there, and I can just erase as I go. But maybe there's an issue in here somewhere. So you'll start to see as I narrow this down. Looks like, oh, there's an issue here. So you see this, I think, oops, I think that line is the culprit. Yep. I think that one was the one that was an issue. So I'm going to draw this line from here to here, and then I'll be able to close this geometry and make this into a plane. Do this section. Whoops, I didn't get that right. And I just hit undo. So as I'm doing this, try this. Okay, so that one's done. So now I have this contour is done, and I can do the next one. And I think the issue is in here somewhere. So I'm just gonna undo those and redo them. So now I have those are finished. This one is the next one, I think. And sometimes it's a matter of drawing and redrawing. Unfortunately, that's just how this works. It's imperfect, but once you get used to it, it's kind of zen when you get used to it. Just gonna, sometimes it helps to take a little off the ends, like give it a little trim and then connect it from there. Okay, I think we're almost ready. So these are all 2-foot contours. And now that I have this one, so these are all planes and I'm ready to start moving things around. I'm gonna save this. I should have saved it initially. And then we will come back and start to push and pull.